making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a...
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like
9.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, it ends, and well, then it starts. Kind of how it is, right? Everything's beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Isn't that the lyric of Closing Time, I believe? It ends, and then it begins. The NBA season ended 2 days ago, but it starts tomorrow. No, not games, not even camp, but the draft. Good morning, boys and girls. Is that somebody told me once, a long time ago, is that condescending, boys and girls? That sounds to me way better than ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, you can always hit both. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls.
I always prefer to be boys and girls, actually. Yeah. To be called that. I'm emceeing. By the way, Isaiah's in for JJ today. I'm Jeff Symbieta. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living? You good?
Yeah, I'm living great. Living great.
Good.
Nice, good Tuesday.
Yeah, it's going to get a little rain today.
Okay. I'm down for some rain.
You didn't know that?
No. It's been so hot. Hopefully it's not as hot.
It's going to supposedly, they say, dump today. Like monsoons are starting, and we're getting it.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that. It's been ridiculously hot outside.
Yeah, no, it's been warm. I'm emceeing the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet on Sunday, and I got the script over the weekend, and the amount of times it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, at this time," and I'm
like, "You're like, I'm going to switch."
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, no.
So for a situation like that, if you switch it up and say boys and girls, will they never ask you?
I won't even. Well, that might be beneficial to me. I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. No, that's not right. No, actually, I got the script this year. Last year I got it, I think, 20 minutes before. I had no idea what I was doing last year. I'd never done it before, that event. And I got the script about 20 minutes before the event, I think. Literally, I was there in my tux and on the stage. And I'll have it for you in a minute. I'm almost done. I'm like, okay. So I got it a week out this year. I was pretty stoked.
Okay.
I just don't do I'm not a big ladies and gentlemen guy, that's all.
No, dude.
And I'm not a big at this time guy either.
You're just like, so what's your go-to?
I don't know that I have one. Tell me afterwards, and I probably do. I just don't know that do I have a crutch saying? I say all right sometimes. You listen to people enough, and you say, well, they kind of have a crutch saying that they I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, ask me again by Friday.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can fish one out.
Yeah, I try to stay away from it, but I'm not too proud to say I mean, I may have one. I don't know.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Yeah, look, man, you worked with me enough. I'm horribly informal. I know, and everybody does these things differently, right? I mean, I'm sure I do it differently than the afternoon show, than JJ does it, than people that that Bob does. That you work in the afternoon with Brandon. Everybody does their show differently. Some people just have it boom, 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 boom. Here's what we're gonna do in every segment.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I was told when I did get here. As being a producer, is it's like you learn your host because every host is different, right?
Yeah.
So there's obviously a baseline, but also with you being a host, you don't become a host and get your own show by being like everybody else. You gotta be different somehow.
I've always just thought, the right way to do it is your way to do it.
Mm-hmm. So ladies and gentlemen,
figure out. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will start the show. Please take your seats or get in your car or make your eggs or grab another cup of coffee. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I introduce to you Isaiah Johnson, who's sitting in today for JJ Buck, who is on a much-needed family vacation. And welcome to the show.
Great intro.
We've had, actually, the Hall of Fame banquet should be pretty good on Sunday. We've had Michael Sinclair and Steve Loy both have been on this program as we get ready. Michael Sinclair, 11 years in the NFL, mostly with the Seahawks. And then he was fascinating, dude. He was so good about his journey to get to Eastern out of Texas, and went to Eastern New Mexico. And then Steve Loy is just an amazing story. Sandia High School. And he said, I want to say he was 10 years old. He was hiking up at the Sandias, and him and his buddy decided about 4 o'clock to take the La Luz Trail down. And it started raining, and they got diverted. They were up there, I think he said, like 32 hours. They popped out in Placitas, and it was snowing, not raining. And long story short, he had toes amputated off of each foot because he had frostbite. They told him he'd never play again. And Steve said, yeah, okay, that was the fuel in fact, that was the word he used. He said, that was the fuel I needed somebody to tell me I couldn't do something, and he played football at Eastern. It took up golf
with no toes.
Well, with some toes. I mean, he lost. So he didn't lose all of them. Oh my goodness. He didn't get into exactly which ones, but he had toes amputated on both feet because of frostbite. And he played. He took up golf and ended up getting a head coaching job I believe at Scottsdale Community College, then at Arkansas, where he found John Daly at Arkansas. Then he came back at Arizona State, won national championships at Arizona State, found a guy named Phil Mickelson. And when Phil Mickelson, it's a great story that Steve told us. He said when Phil graduated, Phil's people wanted Steve to become Phil's manager. And Steve said, I got a pretty good team coming back at Arizona State. And I think, I enjoy doing this. No, I'm not going to do it. They said, all right, well, come on over. We're going over to the Scottish Open and the British Open, and Phil's going to play. And come on over with us. And by the time they came back, he informed Arizona State that he was leaving and becoming Phil's manager. And he has become one of the, if not the most successful managers in sports. And he's managed Phil's whole career. And think how much money Phil's made over the years, right? He's got John Rahm, right? And both these guys are on Live Now. But he talked about the business, and he talked about Phil, and he got into Phil's gambling addiction, and it was fat. If you missed that, it's over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You can click on the opening drive, and it's there. But those are the kind of guys who are getting inducted into the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame, and the banquet is coming up on Sunday night at the convention center. You can get tickets, go to the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame website and get it there. But and I had to go get a tux.
So basically, what you're saying is it you tailored?
I got fitted for it. I went. And here's another behind the scenes. So I went in last week because I know the routine now. They didn't tell me, but I knew I had to go get my tux. And so John Baum, who owns Mr. Tux, hey Jeff, all right, well here's what that lady, is what he called it. Here's what that lady said you're gonna wear. And I looked at him like, yeah, but I'm not.
But you didn't like it, or you just I don't like the thought of someone else telling me what to wear?
Well, I mean, partially that, but it was like a powder blue going to the prom. No. and then it was okay. Well, this one it was a white jacket, and I'm like, I'm gonna actually, I kind of like this right here. And he's like, yeah, cool. And he's like, is she going to get mad? I'm like, dude, I'm free labor. Like,
Yeah. No, you're like, yeah, no, take what you can get.
they seem to like what I did last year. And they want me back. So, yeah. So I'll pick up my rented clothes and put them on. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's a good time on Sunday. And you'll have a big show on Sunday. Zay's got his show that he does with DC, and you may have a big. Well, I think you do have a pretty big guest on Sunday.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get this fellow on for a long time, maybe like 6 months. Started chatting with him on Twitter, and that's Terrence Williams. You know, I'm a big Cowboys fan, of course. Everyone listening knows. But my peak years of being a Cowboy fan was 2014, 2015, 2016. I was the most invested then, and I told him, you know, because this was right after we spoke yesterday, Jeff, and I told him, I said, you know, I was just on air, and we were talking about, you know, from the ages of 8 to 18, that's like usually your sweet spot for sports. And I told him, you know, that was my sweet spot for sports. So I told him I was a big Romo guy, big Des guy, big Witten guy. And I just asked him, you know, a lot of questions about, you know, the story of his life behind the scenes. And then he got into just the differences between Dak and Romo and, yeah, a lot more cool stuff.
That's really cool. So that's what time's your show on Sunday?
It'll be at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So I'll definitely play some clips from it. I don't think I'll play the whole thing because he got about an hour out of him. So like an hour worth of an interview from him. There's no breaks in there. I didn't, you know, it was too much of a conversation.
No, that'll be good. All right. So catch that on Sunday morning. And the show is called
Tailgate Talk.
Yeah.
Yep, Tailgate Talk with Zay and DC.
I listened to it on the way to the golf course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I heard you on the way. I was going to call in, but you know, I heard. I played on Saturday the week before. I listened. I was going to call in. Kenny's like, man, you never call my show. Why don't you call my show? And then he had Stevie Franchise on, so I'm like,
yeah, that was super cool. That was a big deal.
All right, we got a lot to do today. 505-246-0610. Let's go. We got trades going on in the NBA. We got the draft tomorrow. We got NFL stuff popping as camps get set to open in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. That is correct. Lots of college news going on as we expect something to pop as far as the Pac-12 expansion. Maybe today, as the Texas State conversation continues to heat up, which I guess will surprise absolutely nobody if they say, you know, Texas State is now part of the Pac-12. I think you're all expecting that. I think we are all expecting that. But we'll see where that goes as they extended their media deal to the Pac-12 with CBS to the 2030-31 season. John Jones's lawyer has spoken out about his legal issues, his latest legal issues, baseball stuff. We didn't get to some of it yesterday. What Shohei did over the weekend was, I mean, I don't know if you're still amazed. Do you watch any of the Shohei stuff? When you say dude had an offensive game like he did the other day, pitched, drove in runs, home run. If he comes back and pitches like he's pitching, I don't know that we're going to have a huge conversation about the best baseball player we've ever seen.
From when I checked the temperature of the room, there's 80% of baseball fans have already given that to him. And with me being so like big on NFL and NBA, and people are really reluctant to give that title to people, I do find it interesting, and that's what drew me into Shohei. It was how so many people were just saying that he was for sure the greatest, and that, you know, no one had ever done anything.
Well, I think that's the thing. Nobody's done what he does, right? He pitched one inning in his rehab, and they stuck to the one inning because they're really, really careful, and they should be. Look, the Dodgers have gone through 30-plus pitchers already this year, and it's not yet July. And they kept him on a pitch count. He threw 18 pitches. He struck out 2, and then he went and he hit the ball all over the yard, and it's nobody's done. I mean, the last guy that kind of did this was Babe Ruth, and okay, Babe Ruth's considered the best baseball player by many, and none of us ever saw Babe Ruth play, and he's doing it better than Babe Ruth. And the only thing Babe Ruth did better than him was, party, smash hot dogs and beer and maybe women. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Shohei's doing on the ladies scene in LA, but I'm going to guess he's doing as well as he wants to do. And hit home runs. Right. That's what Babe Ruth did. But then again, Shohei went 50-50 last year, and I think it was 55-55. Nobody's ever hit more than 50 home runs and stolen more than 50 bases in a season, and Shohei did that. No, when you say this isn't even a comparison. When you say Jordan and Michael and Kobe, and there's similarities in all their games. They played basketball. It's hard to do something in basketball that nobody's. I guess it would be
Like Dion, maybe.
But Dion did 2 sports, yeah, and did them well. Bo Jackson did that too.
Mm-hmm. Or I was also thinking more so like wide receiver and corner.
Yeah, but did he? I mean, did he play that much? Like,
He wasn't as and that's also kind of what I was going to ask, because and I've heard kind of the answer, but I can get you to confirm that if Shohei was just a hitter, he'd still be like one of the best hitters.
yeah.
In the
yeah. I mean, he won MVP last year and didn't pitch, right? He was National League MVP and he did not pitch last year, correct?
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess Travis Hunter, if he goes both ways on a regular basis, we could start. And if he does it
top 5 in both sides,
and if he does it at a top 5 level, then we can have that conversation. But what Shohei's doing is amazing. All right, we're going to get into. There was another trade in the NBA yesterday. Tyrese Halliburton has had surgery and has put out some comments, so we'll get into that. 505-246-0610. Kenny Thomas will join us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny, get his thoughts on the NBA final or finals. The Stanley Cup is a final. The NBA is the finals.
Wow.
That's fact. And get his thoughts on Hallie and what he played, and even now that you know what happened, and look into the draft a little bit. So Kenny's going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock. Got a sweet deal, New Mexico United sweet deal coming up for you at about 8:20 today. So a full show. Isaiah's in for JJ, and you can get in at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ JJ will get you on Monday at sportsanimалabq.com. I keep telling you about John Thomas Jewelers. I tell you that they've become my jewelry store, and they're that good. So the second you walk in the door, you're going to realize they're different. They're not. It's not some. And there's nothing wrong with a jewelry store in the mall, but this is just different. You're not going to stumble across them and have them, try to hit you with some national sales. This is a different spot, and you'll understand that when you get off the elevator and walk into the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, John Thomas Jewelers. And now, if you're getting engaged, they've got something called the No Regrets Ring, and nobody does this. What is the No Regrets Ring? So how do you know she's going to love the ring when you give her a ring? You go buy a ring, you kind of think you love it and think she'll love it. And you can design a ring with them. And by the way, when you design a ring, they'll preview it in 3D, and they'll do like a 3D wax printed version of it so you can see all the detail. But what if she wants to marry you, but she wants something different? No problem, because John Thomas Jewelers gives you an entire year to redesign a ring after you propose. There's no penalty, not even on custom-made rings. Nobody does this. This is exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. Plus, all of their rings come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty. Their diamonds are hand-selected by John Thomas Jewelers in Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world. This is a no-brainer. If you are getting engaged, there's one place to go, and it's John Thomas Jewelers. Go by, visit them on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal. See why they've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque for 4 straight years and voted one of America's coolest jewelry stores. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
The United States Soccer Federation.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs.
Want a history lesson?
Always. Always.
So this here particular show will be 17 years old next month. And
wow.
the original team, it was me, Joe Gonzalez, and Skip Lacombe. And Skip was the producer, the original producer of the show. He's on the original T-shirt. But the last segment of the show was always, you know, like Rome does Up All Night by the Boomtown Rats. You ever hear this, Rome, right? And it was just organic. The one thing that we still do from the original team is we hoe on Friday.
Yes.
Right? That was a Joe Gonzalez thing. And it's Gonzalez, not Gonzalez. Although when he was doing traffic and he would say Paseo del Norte and Candelaria. I'm like, how can you say Paseo del Norte and Candelaria, but you're Gonzalez, not Gonzalez? Is that a fair question? What?
That's a very fair question. Also, that's a great roll of the R's there.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Oh.
So anyway, Skip always played Air Force One as the bump music back into the final segment.
Okay.
And it got me thinking on shoes, and because there's that line, once you scuffed them, they bleeped up your whole night, right?
Yeah.
And you know, if you got white shoes, everybody's wearing white sneakers these days. It's, you know, kind of back to being a thing. And,
yeah.
You know, like you got to find. So I need Lysol wipes, by the way. I got a scuff on my shell toes.
Let me get to the point. You need the meat potatoes of this thing. Friends of the show, you gotta wipe anybody.
It's the truth. All right, Mike says, hope the Pacers enjoyed their 15 minutes of fame. Jeff Alou, we will never see them in the championship again. I heard that on your show yesterday. I think it was Fred who said we'll never see them in our lifetime in the championships again, right? Did you do your show yesterday?
No, so I've got the afternoons off this week. It feels weird.
Really, they're not making you do double. I just assumed they were making you do double.
Yeah,
duty.
no. They were ahead of schedule this time. They're like, you don't have to try it. And I was like, yeah, I might as well. Yeah,
It's
sure.
kind of nice not having to be here,
Yeah,
5:30 in the morning and they do that show.
Yeah. It was like I'll take it on.
Right.
Of course, I go back to just like the football practice days and like summer camp. And it's like
Yeah.
nothing will ever.
2-a-days.
Yeah, nothing will ever be that. So
2-a-days sucked, man.
Those were worse.
It was the worst. Do they still do 2-a-days?
So in some states, I was lucky enough in Illinois. My sophomore year was the last year that they were actually allowed to do 2-a-days. So yeah, we go out, have a full 2.5 hour practice, go in, eat lunch for an hour, and then they would take it kind of easy. We would just do special teams.
Yeah.
But it's still sprinting down the field and kickoff.
Still
That's still
106 degrees.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you agree with that sentiment that we will never see the Pacers this far again? Why don't you tell me why not? More so because, as I respond to that email, would I tell you I think they're the favorites next year? No, because Halliburton's out, and I think Cleveland's coming, and I think Detroit is coming, and I think the Knicks are going to do something, and Boston interests me. Are they just taking a gap year next year with Tatum, and now they traded Drew Holiday? And I think Orlando is coming. I think Orlando is going to be kind of the surprise, maybe what Cleveland did. All of that said, I don't know that I find any of them to be dominant to the point where if Halliburton comes back healthy the year after next and they keep this core together, which is very hard to do, I think they've got a really, really good coach, one of the best in the league. Would I bet on them being back in the next 10 years? I tell you, I think it's 50-50. I think it's hard. But then again, have we seen Denver? Did Denver repeat? Did Boston repeat?
Yeah.
Did Dallas? Did anybody repeat? We haven't had a repeat in the last 7-8 years.
Yeah, I think it's really, really tough, but also I enjoy it being this tough of a question. Number one, it's a tough question because you look at how they're built and with Hallie's injury and, the way he can respond. But right now, the East is very, very wide open. So it's like they have just as much of a chance to get back as the next team, in my opinion. If you're going to go over the next 5 years, I don't see any team that's just clear cut for sure going to get back. I would have said Boston until about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
When Tatum went down.
So it's going to be really, really tough for them to get back because even now, after them making it to the finals, if I'm a free agent, I still have to try to convince myself to want to go play in Indiana.
Why? Is it all about lifestyle to you?
No, I think it's.
Then what don't they have, dude? They've got a great coach. It feels like they've got a good atmosphere. They've got a center who has won before. They're going to in Siakam. I guess that's their power forward. They're going to re-sign Hunter. You look at the pieces they have in Mathurin and Halliburton. Tell me why not?
What's the temp check on their ownership group?
It sounds like it's pretty solid.
Yeah, they're never bad. You don't see free agents going. I don't know why they don't go to Indiana, but you don't ever see Indiana being like an attractive spot or someone's like, I want to get traded or I want to be off this team. You never hear someone say, I want to go play.
You never heard him say that about Cleveland either, even when LeBron
true.
was there. And so it's a lifestyle thing, right? Nobody wants to go to the upper Midwest and freeze their ass off.
Yeah.
Right? They want to go to L.A., Phoenix, Miami, or New York. It's like, okay, I'll go to New York and be cold because, well, it's New York.
Yeah, I guess that stopped KD from going to Minnesota, which is crazy.
Well, theoretically. And then Texas because Dallas is, there's a lot of ladies there in Houston. And there's no, well, you think I'm kidding? You tell me.
Oh, I know it. I haven't been there, but I know it.
And but as far as the mindset, and there's no state income tax.
Yeah. Harder to focus in Texas for sure.
That's why Drew Holiday got traded to Portland, and I heard on the way in on the show before us, nobody wants to go to Portland. Portland, first of all, Portland's beautiful. Outside, I know what's going on, and there's a lot of there's been a lot of unrest in Portland downtown, but like Oregon's beautiful, Portland's beautiful. It's good living up there. It rains a lot, but Drew Holiday got traded or is getting traded. The Celtics are sending Drew Holiday to Portland. And what is the signal? And I'm interested in talking to Kenny about this. What is the signal for the Celtics? They're sending Drew Holiday to Portland for Anthony Simmons and 2 second-round picks. Drew Holiday's owed like $104 million in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
it's like kind of why. So Portland reacquires him. He originally was there, and then the Damian Lillard trade moved him and all that. Right. But and Simmons goes to Boston on an expiring contract, while Holiday's owed $72 million over the next 2 years, and he's got his option for the third year. It saves Boston $40 million in luxury tax payments next season. I guess they got to figure, well, if we don't have Tatum, we're not going to win. Do we want to pay all that tax? Focus on the following year. Portland gets Holiday, right? They traded him to Boston 2 years ago. That was the Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams, the third trade. They got a first-round pick that became Bub Carrington. They get a 29 first-round pick as well. It's going to be a lot of restructuring for the Celtics. It's really going to be interesting what they are and what they become next year. I don't think they're garbage without Tatum.
No,
there's a lot of pieces there, but this was one of those pieces to me.
He was one of the pieces. He was one of the pieces that kept things together, especially on the defensive end, and also he was a veteran that I'm sure he helped out more in the locker room, than we'll ever know, on the sidelines and the huddle. But they're getting back Simmons, young guy. He's averaging 20, and he's in an expiring contract. So you can kind of get a look at him. I don't think that they're just going to extend him right now.
No, I would have guessed not.
Yeah, you
That's
get
the whole point.
Exactly. You get to look at him with the team, see if he'd fit in with Tatum or not. If he does, great. If he doesn't, you don't have to, he's a free agent. So I think it's kind of a win-win for Boston. You're saving money. I don't think they're throwing in the towel on this next season, because if there are some games where Tatum was out and they still were elite. That's an elite basketball team. Derek White can still score 40. That's another thing with Boston is I don't want to let them get bumped out of the playoffs.
So you think Brown, White, Porzingis? I think they're good. I don't know that that's an elite team.
I think
they're good.
They can hit elite status at times in a game. So like there can be times where for a certain stretch they can play like an elite team, but going into a game I would not call them an elite team without Tatum. No, but I do think they're capable of being top 5 in the West.
I thought
top
you
4.
Just did. Yeah, that's why. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't call them just like overall an elite team, but they can be. They can be.
Got it. All right. 505-246-0610. When we get back, Tyrese Halliburton has had the surgery, what he had to say afterwards. I agree with him. I'll tell you that much. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub.
I would do it again. I'm okay with that. You ever said that before? Oh, yeah. But what about when it didn't end up well? You ever say that before? I'd do it again. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah Johnson. He's in for JJ today on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I would do it again. It's Tyrese Halliburton. That's what Tyrese Halliburton said after having his surgery yesterday. After blowing out his ACL, playing in the NBA championships on a calf strain. I'd do it again. Quote, I'd do it again and again after that. To fight for this team, this city, and my brothers. For the chance to do something special. It's part of his quote. He posted on social media last night. Said, man, don't know how to explain it other than shock. Words cannot express the pain of this letdown. The frustration is unfathomable. I've worked my whole life to get to this moment, and this is how it ends? Makes no sense. Now that I've gotten surgery, I wish I could count the number of times people will tell me I'm going to come back stronger. What a cliche, LOL. This bleep sucks. My foot feels like dead weight, fam. But what's hurting most, I think, is my mind. I feel like I'm rambling, but I know this is something I'll look back on when I'm through this. It's something I'm proud I fought through. It feels good to let this bleep out without y'all seeing the kid ugly cry, end quote. Posted that with a picture of him in his hospital bed post-surgery with that gigantic cast on his right leg. I'd do it again, Zay. Says, I don't have to go through this. I get to go through this. I'm grateful for the road that lies ahead. Watch how I come back from this. So give me some time. I'll dust myself off and get right back to being the best version of Tyrese Halliburton. Cool. I got, like, that's the thing, right? You have surgery, you post. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with what he said. I know people are going to pick it apart. I'm not that guy who. I understand we're all supposed to have hot takes and just rip people to shreds. And look, man, say what you feel. I'm not going to pick it apart. I have no problem in the world that he would do it again. I knew he would feel that way, and I think most of us would have played on that cap strain for an NBA championship. And so I got no problem even knowing the result. And I wish this young man, like all the good things. He seems like he's legit. He was underestimated. He was called the most overrated player in the league. Dude was one win away, and he had 9 points in 7 minutes in that game of an NBA championship. He hit some of the biggest shots in the NBA playoffs throughout the 10 weeks of the playoffs. And then he blew out his Achilles. And I got no issues with any of it. I mean, good for you. Put it out, let it out there, get it off your chest. Say what you got to say how you want to say. Like, I'm not that guy who's going to beat him up, and I know other people are.
Yeah, he's being a good role model. Of course, you know, a lot of the emotions he's feeling, he may not put in a post like that, but I think, you know,
but a lot of them he did.
He put a lot of emotions in there, and I don't think anything was negative, of course, anything he was thinking. I think he is 100% very, very positive about all this, especially you get those initial emotions out and you get a chance to sit back and look at the big picture, but he knows people are watching. And I think when you have the strength to show, you know, when you give glory, you know, to God, and you're you know, embrace the challenge, and you're thankful, and you say you would do it again, that's speaking to all of his Pacer fans and all of his fans out there, you know, that were going along the ride with him. So I think that message, it really, really goes out to all his supporters, and I'm sure he will be back better. Because look, for Halliburton, he was overrated, ranked overrated, but I think that was just because of the inconsistency on the offensive side. But usually I think when guys go through something like this, they may not come back as explosive, but I think you can work on different skills. I think you can approach the game different mentally. So he can easily reshape his game and come back and be better than he was before, especially given his age.
Yeah, I think all that's right. And, you know, guys, I think he almost had to say something, right? Because he's him, because it happened so publicly, because, and he could have posted, hey, for surgery, well, I'll be back. Thanks for all the, we could have done whatever he wants. I have, like, do you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you. And I'm glad he put that out there. Obviously, he's an emotional young man, and he's been through a lot, and he's been listening to it, and he's, just getting beat up. You know, like the Skip Bayless post. Did you see that, by the way? Said Halliburton's a guy who, like, you know, he hides behind his injury, or he's going to blame. It was such a, like, one of the worst posts ever.
So it was actually, he posts that, and then literally, I think, like 3 minutes later.
I was looking at the timestamp, so it almost felt like it was right after. You telling me it was before?
It was, so that first one he put it out right before, and then like 5 minutes later, he had to put out another one, eat his words. Okay, now it looks like he's hurt. And it's like, God, dude.
It's just such a bad look, dude.
And that's not his first time.
Oh, he's but he's got to be hot take guy. That's how he's made millions of dollars. And so, I mean, God bless him if that's your thing. You make millions of dollars that way.
It's like selling your soul in a way.
And fair. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I couldn't do it that way. But again, like I told you earlier, man, everybody's got their way.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got their way. Why do you think there have been so many? And I know this has been discussed a lot. Achilles injuries. And I know you're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Is it because the season's so long? Is it because the playoffs are so long? Is it because you're playing back, you know, with 1 day in between, although the finals there were more days? Is it because, you know, guys are playing? You know, I've heard everything from guys who are more athletic now to you're playing way more youth sports. So by the time you get to the college and pros, you're already damaged goods, to the schedule, to I don't know. Can it be coincidence? Can it be? Is there a reason? Because I don't know that there's an answer to this. They're not going backwards. They're making too much damn money. The players are making money. The money's got to be generated from somewhere. You got to give TV a product. TV's going to put a schedule together. You're playing every other day in the playoffs. I don't know that I know the answer, and I certainly don't believe that there's there could be a solution, but I don't think there will be.
So is there more like Achilles injuries on average now than say there was in the 90s?
So it's a great question. It certainly is more high-profile players, right? It kind of goes back to the data we were talking about yesterday. How many guys with calf strains blow out their Achilles as opposed to guys who don't, right? We always only hear about the ones who do. I don't know, but it certainly. I mean, I got Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton in these playoffs. Those are 3 big-time players, dude. 2 of them have gold medals hanging around their neck, don't they?
Yeah, and now that I think about it, all 3 of them were in not necessarily a state of desperation, but they were in a state of it's all or nothing, and we got to make this happen.
And I don't
we
know
have to do this now.
Boy, that'd be interesting. I mean, if somebody could tie the mind to that. I mean, I
like
don't know.
Maybe like over. It's like you're desperate. So you're like, maybe you have your limit. You have as fast as you're used to doing things, and you're trying to do it at another level. You're trying to hit that.
Dame was early, right? Dame was early in a series.
Yeah, but his was right when he came back from the blood clots.
Yeah.
So he had been back for maybe his conditioning. That was the main thing where it's like, how is his conditioning going to be? So his, I think you can tie that to conditioning. He came back. He's trying to play in the playoffs. His Achilles pops.
Let me take this break, and let's have to continue this on the other side. And because I want to stay somewhat on clock, although we're late already. But I'm interested in if you've got a theory on why, or does it seem that there's more? I mean, certainly more high-profile Achilles than it feels like in the past. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the stats are. Did the 5th guy on the bench, in Milwaukee years ago? I don't know. But it sure seems like more, and I know everybody's looking into why. I'm looked into why my yard looks like it looks, and so I called LaBarge Landscape. Then I knew why. It's me, and I don't have the love to go do yard work, and I don't have the time, and so I called LaBarge. And by the way, I'm not really good at it. I mean, I'll cut the grass, but it's just my backyard, my irrigation system needed some love. So LaBarge Landscape came out, and they are fantastic. If you are looking for work on your yard, commercial and even certainly residential, they are professional landscape construction and maintenance special. This is what they do. If you're looking to get on a maintenance schedule, there's no better place than LaBarge. They've got over 80 years of experience over there. It's a family-owned, locally run business, and they are fantastic. Maybe you're looking to redo the backyard. You're looking to build that perfect, beautiful oasis that you've always wanted, but not even exactly sure. They'll come out, walk you through it, show you designs, mock it all up for you. They'll clean everything up when they're done. Maybe you want fencing or fire pits, or your irrigation system needs a rehaul. LaBarge Landscape is it. They are bonded, licensed, and insured. What does that mean? That means you don't have to worry about someone not doing the job. And if something goes wrong, they are insured. Everything is taken care of. Every day I saw another one today. I had to pick it up this morning before I left. A little baggie, 3 rocks and a flyer in there. And everybody wants to take care of your yard. But they're not bonded. They're not licensed. They're not insured. You don't know that you're going to get what they say. LaBarge is going to do what they say they're going to do, and they're going to do it the best in the business. Call and find out what they can do for you. Go look at their website, LaBargeLandscape.com. That's LaBarge, LaBargeLandscape.com. And then give them a call, 505-345-3000. That's 505-345-3000. And have them come out and take care of your yard. Whether it's small or large, the answer is easy. It's LaBarge Landscape.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep.
Ew, but I mean, you're 25 years old, right?
27. I'm getting there.
All right. You're getting where? That you're going to need reading glasses?
Hopefully, I've got 20/20.
Dude, so did I. At some point, everybody at some point. And that's a hard one to give into.
Yeah.
Dude, like when I go to a restaurant, I gotta light the menu all the time, and now I got these little readers in the car. My boss over at ESPN, he was in town. This was a couple years ago, and we were at lunch, And he brings him. He's given in. He's younger than me, but he's given in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, hey, can I borrow your glasses? And he's like, damn. He throws it. So I share his glass so I could read the menu. And I guess he left him in my car, and I was wearing them on the next Zoom call. He's like, there's my damn glasses. And he's in Charlotte. And I'm like, yeah. I was wondering where these came from, boss.
Yeah, I'd rather get gray hairs before I start losing my eyesight.
What if you lose your eyesight and your hair?
Oh.
Hey!
Yeah.
The hell's wrong with that?
I'm gonna knock on wood.
I mean, what are you telling me? You
Well,
don't want to be like me.
although you
I get
meant-
it. You don't want to be like me.
Oh,
I
you mean eyesight get worse? I thought you meant
No,
going blind.
Ain't nobody want to go blind.
Yeah, that's the biggest fear. That's
Fair
the
enough.
biggest fear.
Yeah. I'll take bald a zillion times.
Yeah, over going blind.
Man, old fat bald guys with a little rap can do okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just like whatever. All right. So why are we having so many damn Achilles injuries?
So this is actually very, very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that we have the answer. I've heard of 15 theories.
Get this though. So
Yeah, tell
six Achilles tears have already occurred this season alone among NBA players.
All right, that's all season, including the playoffs and the regular season.
Yes, breaking the previous record of 5 in a single season from 2014 to 2015. But here's the catch.
Yeah.
Historically, from 1970 to 2018, there's a total of 44 to 45 ruptures, which averages about 1 per season, making this year's haul 6 times the typical annual rate.
Well, and it's bigger when it's guys, because I couldn't tell you who the other 3 are, but I know that one of them was Damian Lillard, and one of them was Jason Tatum, and one of them was Tyrese Halliburton, and they were all very, very high profile. Now, do you know who are the other 3?
DeJounte Murray.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right, that's
he's
really
needed.
big. Yeah.
And then the other 2 is you got Isaiah Jackson and Drew Smith.
Okay. All right. So it's a sample size of 1, right? I mean, so I'd like to, how about the years leading up to this? Were you building up? Because you said it was 1 point something over all those years. This year there were 6.
Yeah, so there were 6 this year. In 2014, 2015, there
Which
was
is a
5.
decade. That's a decade ago.
Yeah.
So what happened in between 10 years ago and now?
That's a good point.
Because I mean, you can have an anomaly weird year.
Mhm.
Right, but if you're going to tell me it was trending up and it's been going to 2 and then 3 and then 5 and now we got 6, okay, what's going on? And I don't know how you get that answer. I don't know how you calf stretch, and I mean it's been a second since I've been in organized athletics as a player, but stretching was always important, and I know now. So as I go out there and I'm on the field before football games, I watch basketball, I watch the trainers. They're so meticulous in the routines, and I love that. I spent a lot of time with level basketball last year. Watch the trainers beforehand. The meticulous stretching, the preventative stuff is better than it's ever been. So why are we having more? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's. I guess the common explanation that people are going to assume is because you've got these bigger guys that are moving faster. The game's more explosive. It's quicker. They're quicker twitched.
I don't know, man. Michael Jordan, Julius Erving, Kobe Bryant, they were pretty quick.
They were. But maybe they weren't maybe these 6'9", 6'10" guys got to just.
Maybe they're playing more when they were younger and there's more wear and tear on their bodies when they get there.
Yeah?
I don't know either. 505-246-0610, but I'm listening. It's the opening drive. He's Isaiah Johnson. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
10, the sports animal. Your home for the NFL, the Super Bowl, the NCAA tournament, and the Final Four. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Day before the draft, who are you going to take? Who's going to get traded? Drew Holiday got traded. How do you think Drew Holiday feels about going from Boston back to Portland? Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel. Welcome to our day. He is Isaiah Johnson in for JJ Buck. So ZJ in for JJ. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. Thanks for finding us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. We've been talking about the rash of injuries in the NBA. Drew Holiday got traded to Portland from Boston as Boston saves $40 million on salary taxes. Bourne says on the injuries, Jeff, I saw photos yesterday of the Lady Lobos checking into their barns. Remember, the real playing doesn't start until March. Really? Oh. He says that basically the real playing is only the 3 days in Vegas. I think you're seeing more ligament damage and other injuries because players are tired. The bodies never have time to rest and fully recover. Bourne doesn't believe that there should be off-season workouts. He doesn't believe that they should be practicing, and I didn't even realize he thinks the season doesn't start till March. All those games that you play November, December, January, February do not matter.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor. I didn't study physiology. I don't know. But of the theories I've heard, there's two that make a little bit of sense to me because, well, okay, the two that make sense are the playoffs are longer and the rest in between games in the playoffs, and they're more intense, are shorter. And I wonder, Zay, if guys, you say I don't play back-to-backs in the regular season, which cool, and now you're, well, not back-to-back, you have one day off in between to travel, doing that on a regular schedule in the playoffs, is that more wear and tear where you're not used to it? I don't know. The other side of that is, are they playing too much? The one that I do buy into a bit is, by the time you're 10 years old, you're on an AAU team and you're playing all year long. Now, we used to play baseball, then we played basketball, then we played football. So we were playing, I guess you could argue it's different sets of muscles for each sport, which somewhat makes sense. I don't know. But what boggles my mind a little bit is nutrition, preventative stuff, stretching, conditioning, training is all better now, inarguably, than it was 20, 30 years ago. But yet injuries seem to be up. And I say seem to be because I haven't necessarily seen the data that tells me injuries overall are. I just know that the injuries to the big names are.
Yeah, well, as far as Achilles, I mean, since from 1990 to 2023, it's a little over average of one Achilles tear a season. So it 100% it's increasing. Now I'm still trying to figure out an exact chart, like of year by year, to see if there is.
Yeah, and I don't know if that even exists.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, also at the same time, when you think about the not playing the back-to-backs and taking the rest off. This goes to what a lot of trainers, and I'm sure they would say this, and this is what they would always tell, athletes when you're training and when you're in, practice in the middle of the season and you're getting tired. It's that staying active and staying in shape prevents an injury from happening. So you would think that someone who's been playing a lot, they would have more condition and that they would be able to handle it. Now, I think everyone has their plateau, like where it's like, okay, here's where you are. You're not going to get more conditioned than this. But I don't know. And like you said, that's what makes it so confusing. Is because everything's supposed to be better. Stretching, nutrition.
Just not music.
Yeah. Other than music. Which I agree. I'm a big 80s guy, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm listening to theories, and I just know it's a bummer, man. I mean, watching dudes go down is a bummer. And this isn't about you or me. This really is about Tyrese Halliburton, but you and me and a basketball fan somewhat feel cheated, and it's not bad. I mean, I almost feel dirty that I feel cheated. Gosh, I wanted to see I want to see the game with a full allotment of players. I mean, meanwhile, dude's laying in a hospital in New York, just had his Achilles sewn back together, and he's got a year rehab. I feel, who am I to feel cheated? That's the dude who got cheated. But I think as fans, we all feel that way. Mike says season's too long, Sheffaloo. Remember, these dudes used to have real jobs in the off season. They sold insurance, used cars, and sacked groceries. Yeah, I mean, back 40 years ago, yeah. Now they're making 60. Well, they're not all making $60 million a year, but I mean, they're all making. Nobody's sacking groceries in the off season. Let me ask you this though.
Yeah,
Mike, I'll go a different way with the email because I don't. He said the season's too long. Well, I don't know. Was the season much longer than it was back then? They were playing, long games. The playoffs are longer. I mean, they ended, June 22? And they're going to be back in camp in October. So you have July and August. They have 3 months off. The guys are working out all off season where, again, is your body resting? When a guy was selling insurance or selling cars in the off season, and then they came to camp and got in shape. I mean, I don't know. It's a theory. I don't know.
So your body, they usually will take a little bit off. Obviously, depending on the athlete. I guess, some players would take like a month or two off before they get back to training. I guess guys like Kobe would wait like a couple weeks, he would say, or, you get some guys like that. But when you are training in the off season, there's a certain way you train to play, and then there's a certain way there's a certain like way your body goes through wear and tear in the season. So like when it's
right.
off season,
Game shape is different than being in shape.
Yeah, and also like as far as like your body, you know, the workouts you do, you're more so prepping yourself for the game rather than the actual game action itself. So I you know, if you get hurt in an off-season training workout, that's the worst case scenario because that's supposed to be the most careful, you know, you ever are.
Well, and you're almost always now with your trainer or trainers, right? I mean, none of us are. No, I say us. None of these guys are going to the gym for the most part by themselves without a regimen, a routine, and it's carefully monitored. It's just it's mind-boggling. And look, it could be an anomaly. What was the last major Achilles injury in the NBA that you can recall? Was it KD in 19?
Yeah, outside of this Tatum and Halliburton one. It was
All
KD.
right, so we went 6 years. I mean, I'm sure there were other ones. Don't get me wrong, but again, when it happens to Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, the red flags go up, the alarms go out. The oh my goodness, what are we doing? How can this happen? We got to do something about it. I get it. Right? When Buster Posey got run over at the plate and got broken, Major League Baseball changed the rules because, well, we can't have that. Right? When your stars are getting hurt, you know, well, all right, what are we going to do? And I just don't know that they, and I say they because they feel such a vague term to me because I don't know who the hell they would be. I just don't know that they're going to find an answer to this because I can almost promise you, I say almost. I mean, I would promise you that they're not going to shorten the season.
No, and that's I don't give in to that solution because it's been 82 the whole time. Now, if they had been doing, say, what the NFL's doing, well, I guess when you first start, it wasn't 82, but like look at the NFL, how they're slowly kind of adding games. If the NBA had been doing something like that, it'd be like, all right, you guys need to pump the brakes because the injuries.
No, it's been at 82 for a long time, and the playoffs. There's just too much money. They're not going to shorten that either.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, I guess the answer is figure it out.
What really helps, though, is we may not have a definite solution right now, but there's a strong correlation between calf injuries and
the Achilles.
In the Achilles.
Yeah,
and
which is concerning because have you ever gotten a tight calf?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes me freak out now, too. Because the last thing I want to do, all the injuries, the shoulder one, like I hear rotator cuff surgery is a nightmare to come back from, just painful. And the Achilles is one I just don't want. All right, we're going to have a sweet deal coming up for you. New Mexico United is your sweet deal today. They'll be in. We'll tell you about that. Kenny Thomas is going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to him, get some hoops. I got a lot of college stuff for you. There's a decision on scholarship limitations or lack thereof and roster limits. The Pac-12 stuff is moving, although I haven't heard anything about the Mountain West stuff. And Media Day is coming up really, really quick, so I'll get you the latest on that as well. Who's watching your home? You just left for work. Who's watching the house? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. I've trusted IPS for years to watch my home. International Protective Service is affordable private security that you see everywhere. You see them at stores. You see them in your neighborhood. Why? Because it works, because they keep the bad guys away. You've worked too damn hard to build what you've got, your home, your business. Don't let the bad guys go in and destroy it. IPS can provide standing guards if you want eyes on your property around the clock. IPS can install alarms and camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. This all raises the level of security around your home and your business. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Call IPS and make sure it's them. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
New Mexico's first sports book.
They're pretty damn good. They're pretty exciting. They're top of the table. That means they're in first place. They are hosting an international friendly tomorrow. They're back at the ball pitch on Saturday, and they are our sweet deal. They are, I'm trying to get my tenses right. They are, New Mexico United are, not the United, not Uniteds. I mean, you got all this down, right?
Jeff gets it.
I'm trying. David Weesey Carl is the outgoing director of hype over at New Mexico United. How are you?
I'm doing well. Excited to be here.
It's good to see you. Congratulations, first of all. David Weesey Carl got the call up, going to the big leagues, going to Major League Soccer. He's going to Houston, and what are you going to be doing up there?
Yeah, I'll be the vice president of communications and corporate affairs for Houston Dynamo.
Director of hype.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, just transitioning the same role to Houston,
which is really, really cool. Yeah. MLS has that been a dream for you? Is that? I mean, I know you love this club and you put so much into to what's gone on here, and you've been here since the inception.
Yeah. New Mexico United is the way I describe it is the club of my heart, right? I love New Mexico United, but it's a cool opportunity, one that it's difficult to say no to. We weren't looking to go, but sometimes opportunity knocks, and again, tough to say no.
What are the colors?
Orange and black.
So you got to turn in the gold or the yellow.
Yeah.
For the orange.
Yeah, I mean,
the dry heat for the humidity.
I have been told a lot about that. I've experienced it a little bit. I'm a desert boy, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, my hair. When I go there, my hair puffs up.
Oh yeah.
In the humidity. It is what it is. It's a great sports town. It's a great town. And boy, I mean, it's the fourth biggest city in America.
Third, fourth, something like that. And they've got NBA, they've got MLB, they've got soccer, they've got football, and sounds like hockey's coming too.
No, and they got Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, ASAP, and currently in the middle of a feud with somebody on ESPN, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, by the way, on the hockey thing, did you see I got Goat Heads in as one of the three names?
I voted for it.
Wow.
It's the best one of the three.
By far, man. We've been pushing Goat Heads for a team name, and it's so damn good.
I went to the launch press conference. I'm excited for that team.
Look, I worked for the Scorpions back in the day.
Yeah.
When they were here, and I love me some hockey.
Me too.
I thought it was exciting, and I kind of envision this mascot running around and the head just being one of those little goat heads that stick in your feet. And
you can make like a goat head looking thing that's in the shape of the head of a goat as your logo.
Many things you
Come
could
on.
do, man.
It's the best one.
It's really good. New Mexico United is our sweet deal today for the first time. So if you go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com, you go there at 9 o'clock. You click on the sweet deal icon for just half price. That's $40. You are going to get 2 reserve level tickets and 2 flags to wave. New Mexico United flags are good for any game.
Yeah, good for any home game.
This is a pretty sweet deal. And so for those of you who have been there, you get it. You understand how fun it is. For those of you who have not, you're going to go out and enjoy something that's really, really just been exciting. The product that you put on, I know you're proud of. And it's something that the passion, your hardcore fans love it. The fringe fans seem to love it as well. And I think when the product on the field is pretty dang good and you're in first place, makes it all even better.
Winning helps, certainly, yes. but I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there, that you don't have to be a big-time soccer fan to enjoy the game, right? You can just, it's like the Lobos, right? It's like the Isotopes, it's like all these incredible teams that we have here, the soon-to-be Goat Heads. It's about cheering for New Mexico's teams, right? It's about supporting New Mexico. And by the way, the soccer's a heck of a lot of fun, too. So, yeah, come on out. Hang out with us. It's an absolute blast.
We were just talking about injuries, Ben. You guys took a tough one a week and a half ago where your captain, Caden Ryden, went down with a shoulder separation. And then you respond by getting 2 late goals, right? 2 extra time goals or added time goals, and win 4-2 over San Antonio, who was right behind you in the
1
table.
point behind us, yeah.
So it was a huge victory. But I think the way you responded, 4 goals, obviously, Caden's on the back end, but to go out and get a victory like that was huge for your club.
Yeah, massive. I mean, losing Kalen is horrible, right? He's the heart and soul of our team. He's our captain. He's our emotional leader. We're pretty fortunate, and he feels pretty fortunate that it was just a broken clavicle.
Is that right?
And not a torn labrum, right? Because torn labrum gets you out for the year. Yeah. A broken clavicle is a month to 2 months, so we hope to have him back by the end of the year. That would be terrific, and that'll help a lot. But I think the guys went out and fought for Kalen, right? I mean, again, he is their emotional leader, and to go and get 4 goals like they did and really provide exciting soccer for everybody there in the stadium, it was an absolute blast. And yeah, we stay on top of the table and really expand the lead at the top of the table. We want to keep doing that.
All right, and you step out of USL Championship play tomorrow. You host an international friendly. FC Juarez is in town, or is it Juarez? I mean, whatever it is. How do you say it, man? Say it. Say, how do you say it? FC, who's coming in tomorrow?
FC
Juarez.
I can't hate that. I can't hate
you're
that.
Right, Jeff.
Juarez.
Or Juarez.
Okay, Juarez. I'll go
but
Juarez.
This is a club that you played last year. You played them in the preseason this year, a club with whom you're familiar, and there's a little bit of a rivalry going. These friendlies, do you play with a big one coming up against Colorado Springs Switchbacks on Saturday? Do you play your frontline guys? Is this one of those where we want to win, we want to put on a show? How do you approach friendlies in the middle of a season?
Yeah, it's different, certainly, right? Again, you mentioned on Saturday we've got a huge Jägermeister Cup match against Colorado Springs, so how do you balance those things? You're going to see, from what I can tell, a starting 11, a real starting 11, But I think there's going to be some opportunities for some guys to get some minutes on the back end.
Do they allow more substitutions in friendlies than they do in regular?
As many substitutions as you want.
That would be more, yes.
And the roster is typically 18 players for a match day. There's really no limit on this. So I think we're probably going to have like 30 players on the roster, which is really fun for me, having to write all that down and make sure that the subs are all correct.
That's your last chore. Are you going to be here for Saturday's game, or Saturday's your last game?
Saturday's my last match, yeah.
Which is crazy to think. What's the point then? Okay, so for someone who I've come to grips over the years. Okay, there's league play.
Yep.
And then there's U.S. Open Cup in the middle of league play, and now there's this brand new Jägermeister Cup that I am supposed to care about in league play, and now there's a friendly that, well, it doesn't mean anything. Friendly soccer for exhibition. Right?
Similar, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, right? That's
it's pretty much the same thing.
So why play a game like this in the middle of the season?
Yeah, it's a great question, and if you ask that question to Dennis Sanchez, our head coach, he would tell you it's an opportunity. Leagues have styles, teams have styles, leagues have styles. So Liga MX, the top league in Mexico, they have a style. It's very attacking centric. It's very one-on-one, take you on kind of play. So it's an opportunity for our guys to test themselves against one of the best teams in Mexico in a very different style to help prepare them for what could be coming later.
But is that a style you see it all, or it's just to play a different style?
I think it's partially that. I mean, the other piece of it is you've met some of these guys, Jeff. They don't believe in doing anything less than 100%. They are the most competitive guys I've ever met in my life. If
you're going to play, you're going to play.
They want to win. Yeah. They want to win handily, and they're going to be going out there and putting on a show.
So would Dennis Sanchez tell me that publicly, but behind closed doors, man, I would love to have the week off because we just came off a big one that mattered, and we got another big one coming.
It's a good question. You'd have to ask Dennis that, and then he wouldn't tell you on the air.
I'll ask you next week when you're no longer employed by New Mexico United, and don't have to give me but I always wonder that because
that's a good question.
You know, it's in the NBA's adopted somewhat of a soccer model to go with the NBA Cup. I think the WNBA has one, right? Don't they have something called the President's Cup or something that they're playing? I mean, it's got baseball's been kicking around. It's the soccer model, which is so. Your league, MLS, right? I know the terms. It's not the United. It's United. I know it's a match, not a game. It's a pitch, not a field. It's a result, not a score.
But we don't really care.
But some people do.
Yeah, some do. Yeah,
so the game in America, and now you're going to MLS, and maybe it'll be different. Are you trying to adapt to the world's game, or are you trying to adapt the world's game to America?
It's a great question.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it absolutely makes sense. And there's been some history in American soccer that would say maybe it's the latter. When MLS first came around, you may remember this. They had there were no draws, and when a game went full 90 and it was still even, they had a shootout, which happens internationally in some levels, but it's a different type
too, right? Because if someone is asked to get knocked down, someone has to advance, you have to have a winner.
But this was a very different type of shootout. So what they did, and this was in the 90s in the MLS, they had a run-up shootout. So basically, player starts with the ball at center pitch and runs and runs and runs into the box, and the goalkeeper can come off their line. It's kind of like a hockey shootout.
All right, I'm down.
And they did that in the 90s. So there have definitely been, that's an example
Do you like that?
It's fun. It's definitely exciting.
You like it better than just putting it on the spot?
I'm a bit of a traditionalist myself.
So that's 12 yards out, right?
Yeah, 12 yards from the spot.
See, huh?
Yeah, that's again, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I kind of like the me versus you one-on-one type of thing.
And the traditionalist thing, I get that, right? Because whatever you grew up and you love your game.
Yeah.
But I always wonder, do you have to expand your thought to expand the game, to
100%.
grow the game, right? If you try to globalize the game for Americans, you got to speak our speak.
Yeah.
I think you turn people off.
I agree.
Where if you let them call it a damn game instead of a match.
Totally agree.
Or the United, I mean, if they want to. And look, I listen to sportscasts in our town all the time.
Sure.
And it's the United.
Yeah.
I know you're walking a fine line. You want to preserve the sanctity of your game that you love. There's something about it.
Yeah.
But to expand it.
The most important thing is that we welcome everybody in, right? That's first and foremost. We're proud to be New Mexico's team first. This is not a European soccer team. This is not a.
You just spun it. You're so good at this.
It's not a spin. It's true.
No, right back to it. It's good.
I mean, that's what we care about, right?
Yes.
We care about being New Mexico's team. And so if you want to call it a pitch or a field or a game or a match or cleats or boots, I don't care. We don't care.
Universally, it's called a beer, right?
What's that?
It's called a beer. The thing I go to get at my refreshment, it's a beer?
Sure.
All right. I mean, it could be a pint over there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still a beer.
I grab a beer.
All right.
Yeah.
You can still go out tomorrow, have a beer.
Absolutely.
Or a cerveza if you prefer.
There you go.
Or a pint. New Mexico United is our sweet deal. They play tomorrow. Go out and see them tomorrow. It's really fun brand of soccer that you get to see an international friendly against a top team from the Mexican League in FC Juarez. On Saturday, they're back to Jägermeister Cup play at the Ball Pitch. You can get tickets at NewMexicoUTD.com for that match and all the rest of their matches. You can get them on the Sweet Deal today. It is live on our website, 9 o'clock. SportsAnimalABQ.com. You click on our website, the Sweet Deal icon. And for $40, you get 2 reserved tickets and 2 flags to any New Mexico United match. And go out and have fun and enjoy them. David Weesey Carl has been part of the team and a big part of the team and all of the messaging and the I've told you this before. I think what you guys do marketing-wise as a club is the best I've ever seen in this market. I've been here 29 years.
Thank
you. Do a spectacular job. Best of luck to you. Congratulations on the promotion or your new step. It is a promotion, right?
Sure, yeah.
To MLS. And we'll be watching from afar, but you've done tremendous work with New Mexico United. Take advantage of the Sweet Deal. It goes live at 9 o'clock on our website at sportsanimалabq.com. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
If you've got a dead tree, it's not.
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunization.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Thorne says, we better get some damn rain today, Jeffy. The goofy-looking weather dudes have been hyping the storm for a week. They have. Oh, they have. They're telling us about flood. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to dump today. Can feel it, Zay. My hair's curling up. Getting a little humid.
I knew it was coming because my wrist started hurting.
See?
My knees are sore.
Man, you're too young for that mess.
You know, I've got a, when I went in to get my feet looked at, this is what, put the nail in the coffin for me in sports. I went in to get my feet looked at because I knew that, there's things that needed to be done. And the first surgeon, takes his x-rays and he looks at it. He's like, I'm going to get a second opinion to see what we could do here because there's a lot of different ways we can go.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary assistant comes in and he looks at me. He walks right out. And then he goes out and grabs him. He's like, oh, I thought I went into the wrong room. Like, is this the guy that's on the x-rays? And he's like, yeah. He's like, dude, I thought you were a 60-year-old man. By the way, your x-rays look, the arthritis, the bone spurs.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I've been feeling like a grandpa for a while now. So
is it all just from playing football?
Well, yeah, a lot of it.
Why
yeah.
your feet so much? Like, no, honestly.
So it's really genetic, honestly. So it started out genetic. I would be in 6th grade, and me and my friends would just go walking around the neighborhood, and then I'd end up limping. And be like, guys, I got to go home. Like, my feet are sore. And I'd go home and take my shoes off. My ankles would be swollen.
So, like, were you wearing the wrong size shoes, or it was just genetic? That's
so
just how it was.
flat foot.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Bad flat feet. Everybody in the family's got bunions. So yeah, structurally wasn't. It's something that would have needed to be seen and fixed at a young age. So basically, it was just a ticking time bomb. So the end of the football thing was pretty much probably never going to happen too long.
Yeah. How good could you have been? Come on.
I definitely I could have been at a. I think I would have been at a D1 for sure.
Could you have been Micah Parsons?
I don't know if I could have been Micah. But I think I'd have been able to get in for like a year or two. I've been able to squeak in for a year or two. I think so.
Isaiah's in for JJ today all week. You can listen to Feet Stories right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. All right, local stuff. So I told you last week, I talked to some of the Lobo coaches. Football, this new coaching staff, and I'm excited to see, but I always am, and I know as we get closer and closer to this, we're gonna have conversations, and I know what's coming, and I can't necessarily blame you. You're gonna be cautious, or you're not gonna be interested, and you're gonna need to see Lobo football win first, and it was a tear down to the studs. Bronco Mendenhall left, 50-something new players, or whatever the number is, and Jason Eck and his new coaching staff comes in, and they had to rebuild. I'm excited to see what they got. Now, I've talked to a number of players who seem to love the new coaching staff, which that's not uncommon. But I was telling you, I was talking to one of the coaches, a couple of coaches last week, and they talked about once they get players here, and say you were recruited and you get it, guys love it. They seem to love the facility. Now, the stadium needs work, but the football facilities themselves. And I got validation on this a number of times, but when TCU was here for the Isleta New Mexico Bowl last year, they were in the Lobos locker room. They practiced. They saw the weight room. They practiced in the indoor facility. They're like, wow, okay, this is it's not Big 12 facilities, but it's pretty decent. And of their peer institutions, I think it's certainly on par. It's not horrible. They Wyoming's got a brand new place, but whatever. When they get here, they're like, okay, this is cool. The issue is getting them on campus because their parents, all they hear about Albuquerque is all the bad stuff about Albuquerque, right?
Yeah, I'll be the first one to say, I was in the suburbs of the Chicago area, okay? I was never one of those kids. I was never in the city. But even when I came here to Albuquerque, even Las Vegas, New Mexico, I've never once felt unsafe. It still baffles me when I see the numbers because it doesn't. I've been fine.
Look, man, if you want problems, you can go find it anywhere. I don't care if it's Chicago, Detroit, Vegas, Phoenix, Las Vegas, New Mexico. If you want trouble, you'll be able to go find it.
Yes.
And I've said this for years. No town celebrates its crime like we do. And when I say celebrate it, we talk about it. We
wear it in the sleeve.
We've made it our identity in some respects. Yeah. And look, there was a CBS News on the evening news last Thursday, I think it was a horrible look at Albuquerque. Made it look like that was the whole town. They were up on East Central, and yeah, it's horrible up there. I mean, you can find your bad spots everywhere, but they were saying once you get these guys here, they fall in love with it. And this Cade Mitchell, this quarterback from Oregon, made his trip. He said he'd never been. I'm reading Sean Ryder's story in the Journal, and he said he told Sean I'd never been to Albuquerque, so I had to go check it out first and see. But he got here and he's in, and I don't know if this is your quarterback of the future, but he's a 3-star quarterback, and it's one of the biggest recruiting runs in program history. Sean says that 24/7 Sports has this young man as the 9th ranked prospect for next year's class in the state of Oregon. 6'3", 210-pound dual threat quarterback, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions at Mountainside High School last year.
That's cool.
Boise State, Washington State rim.
And you're spot on with the players getting there, because another thing when I was doing out there at that camp last Thursday is it was at St. Pius. So the St. Pius team was there. And I purposefully, I checked the temperature of the room, and I said, would you, because one of the guys was joking. He's like, yeah, he's going to get an offer from State. And I said, if you guys had the choice, where would you pick between, State and Lobos? And how do you feel about the Lobos? And the first thing everyone said after saying Lobos is that they like Coach Eck, and they like what he's doing there, and that they've met him, and they like where the program's going.
So I have not met one person who hasn't liked Jason Eck. And that's not just locally. I mean, I work in college athletics. I work in college football. When I was at the bowl meetings in April, it was amazing. Have you met Eck yet? Oh, he's one of the greatest guys ever. I've been to league meetings, right, with the coaches, with football coaches. Have you met Eck? Oh, one of the greatest guys ever. Everybody seems to love Jason Eck, and I understand why. He came out to our event on Monday last week at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl golf event.
Nice.
And shook hands with everybody out there. Gets it. Embraced this community. I told you a good buddy of mine from years and years is Dennis Patchen, who does play-by-play for Idaho football.
Okay.
And he told me, quote, if you don't like Eck, the problem is you. Right? That was his quote. And it seems that way. And so I'm looking at what they're doing recruiting-wise, and it sounds like they had another good weekend, that they're getting guys. And again, I'm not a big how many stars are by his name guy, but they're there for a reason. And it feels like, that they had a bunch of high school guys, so this is for next year's class, come in and commit. And it feels like they're doing something right. And again, I get where you're going to go, and you're going to be low-key, and then they're going to go to Michigan, and I sure as hell hope you don't judge the whole season on what happens at Michigan in the opener, for crying out loud, right? But I hope you give this guy a chance, because if you have not realized how important football is to the overall health of your athletic program, that means health financially, health as far as conference alignment, television revenue, like everything. If you care about Lobo football at all, or Lobo athletics at all, and that includes basketball, then you're cheering for this guy, and hopefully you'll give football a chance. And I've told you this before, and I'll say it again. You are not cheating on Lobo basketball if you support football. And there's always been a thing around here, I'm not a football, I like basketball. You're not cheating on Lobo basketball if you support Lobo football.
Yeah, you got to do both. And, the best of the coaches also tell the players that. Go out, support your football team. Go out, support your basketball
you've been
team.
out there. I mean, you get it.
Mm-hmm. They tell you to go out and support all the other, because then it reciprocates. Then you got all the sports at all the games, and then, that helps the fans realize that. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to hear, for the people that have met him, they love him. But I think it's really, really important for the Lobos to start getting local high school players to actually look at them and say, you know what, I can give them a try.
Yeah, and that's a good perspective you have. In this story that Sean wrote, maybe we get Sean in here this week. He said this young man, Cade Mitchell, was one of 4 three-star prospects who UNM had on official visits last weekend. And he talks about the recent haul that saw the Lobos earn verbal commitments from 9 total recruits for the class of 2026 on Sunday and Monday. And he said UNM has not signed more than 4 three-star prospects in a class since 2022. The Lobos previously signed 1 3-star in 2025, 2 in 24, 4 in 23. So they're on a path right now. And I know people say, well, they got a great FCS All-Star team, and that may translate. We'll see. But it feels like they're doing things the right way, and hopefully, I think we're all hoping. I mean, it helps everybody. Certainly, I run a bowl game. It helps my business. But, it'll help everybody. Hey, you're going on a road trip. Your car's going to come back a mess. Maybe it's already a mess now just because of life. You're going to get monsoons this week, and then it's going to be dirty. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them take care of that. From the bugs in the grill and the windshield to the food wrappers to the sticky cup holders, the snack crumbs and sand everywhere, they will get your car looking, feeling, and smelling brand new. Detailing is what the car dealers do. When you took your car off the lot, it was detailed. It felt, it looked, it smelled brand new. That's what On the Spot Automotive Detailing does. They are best in the city at what they do. They've been awarded such, and they come to you. You don't take your car somewhere. You don't get it dropped off. You don't need to be dropped off. You don't need to sit around. They come to you at your home, at your office, wherever and whenever it's convenient. When they're done, your car looks and feels brand new. Want to avoid this blaring sun we're dealing with? Talk to them about their professional window tinting services. Ask them about ceramic coating and paint protection film to keep the paint protected on your vehicle. It's one of your biggest investments. Take care of it. It's your vehicle. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is your spot. Book and buy today. It's all online. otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell.
On the Sports Animal, good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to bring up Rogers, the Carlsbad native, made his third start, and he had 72 of his 101 pitches were strikes, and so watch out for him. He always had a sprained knee this year, had a lot of injury problems, and so I just want to let everybody know to keep an eye on Rogers, and he's playing for Baltimore now this year. The last thing is, no one's talking about this guy. You know who Cal Riley is, right?
I don't know who Cal Riley is.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Cal Riley's only hit 32 home runs and has 68 RBIs this year. And, you know, Jeff, you're one of the biggest sports people in town. You know everybody and everything, and you didn't even know who he was, and he's got 32 home runs. And you know what he plays? He plays catcher. And I tell you what, I looked it up. He's in 79 games. He's played 78. Can you imagine? He's played 78 games.
He's killing it.
And the wear and tear, the heat, you know, and all that stuff. But it's just crazy, and no one's talking about him. So let's maybe talk about him.
He
a
went
little
2 for 5 last. Yeah, no, went 2 for 5 for the Mariners last night, and he's killing it. And Trevor Rogers, 8 scoreless innings last night for the Orioles. The kid from Carlsbad.
That's right. That's all I was calling.
No,
Just to
appreciate
add a little
it.
bit. No track today.
Great stuff. No appreciate
high
it.
school. Okay, guy.
Thanks, Brad.
See ya.
Trevor Rogers is one of the best that ever came out of New Mexico baseball.
You also know everything.
Well, I did Cal Raleigh. He's playing for Seattle. Kenny's due next. We'll kick it with Kenny on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Live on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Got an NBA champion on Sunday. Got an NBA draft on Tuesday. Had a trade on whatever day yesterday was. And Hallie had his surgery. Good morning, boys and girls. Opening drive is in your ear on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Symbieta, Isaiah Johnson's in for JJ today. It's Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
What time does Kenny show up for your show? Like the show with his name on it? Oh, there! Look at that! Look at that! It's only 9:01. What time does he show up when your show starts?
Show starts at 10. He's there by 9:30.
He's there by 9:30.
Yeah, he's there by 9:30
on Sundays
at the very latest.
Yeah. Damn! It's like a cavalcade of stars running through this place right now.
Councilman Dan Champagne.
I mean, everybody's here. What's up, Kenny Thomas?
What's up, bro?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm great.
I'm borrowing your co-host.
Man, I know who's in there. You said his show.
He said your show.
Hey, what time does?
I'm just kidding, bro.
Hey, say, what time does Kenny Thomas show up for your show on Sunday?
It is his too.
I know.
9:20 at the 9:20, 9:30. He's there, locked and loaded.
Were you hanging out with Dan?
No, we Councilman Dan Champagne. It's weird saying that, but yeah,
Why is that weird?
we came up. Man, I've known him since I was like 19.
Before he was councilman, then he was just Dan.
No, before
Was he Mr. Champagne then?
No, never. And he and he was the popo. So
he was.
Yeah, he used to be with APD.
He was the popo. That's right.
Now it's like, yeah, your boy KT got a community liaison with the APD department.
Back when I don't know. How'd you feel about the popo back in the day? Man, like we all did.
Hey, I'm black, bro.
I get it, but I mean, I was a white kid.
Hey.
I didn't love the popo either. Like, damn, what are they doing here?
Hey, this ain't Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, but I just sounded like it was.
Welcome to Filtered with Kenny Thomas.
Yeah, but it was unfiltered because I'm like, I'm just saying. I don't know, man. It's a stereotype. It's there.
Look, I get it.
It's there.
I mean, as best I can, I get it. But even young white kid growing up where I grew up, I mean, damn, they weren't. No.
Yeah, come on, bro. But you had a better chance of getting out.
I probably did, yeah. But with what I might have had in my pocket at that time, and if I'd have got right, I mean.
Nah, man. It's nice because it's one of those things, man. Everybody knows me. No, I'm being serious. See, you're laughing like I'm gonna say something stupid or like controversial. No, man. I'm very supportive. Chief Medina, man.
I know you are.
He's a friend of mine.
Sheriff Allen?
And yeah, Sheriff Allen's a friend of mine, and being able to just associate myself with them and be that bridge to the community or whatnot, right? To where I can support both sides. And the fact that Chief Medina's given me an opportunity to be a part of APD and grow and expand.
Don't forget Ray Del Greco, man, what he's done.
That's my guy.
Throw him out there.
Ray,
Have you seen him hit a golf ball?
No, I have not. You told me he played really well.
He can hit.
The last time you guys played.
Well, he didn't play that well when we played. He can hit the hell out of the ball.
Yo, you should come to lunch with us next week.
I'm not gonna lie, honestly. I played well. That I might have beat him.
Good for you.
Is this birdie on 13 day or what?
I birdied 13 the other day. No, the day I played with him, I had 2 birdies on the back.
Oh,
isn't he like a 5 or 6?
Yeah, but he didn't play well that day. Maybe I intimidated him. Just hanging out with me, flustered. I'm kidding.
No, you're good. He should come to lunch. Hey, we're supposed to go to lunch.
Right,
I texted him this week, and we're supposed to go to lunch next week. You should come with us. But
right.
Man, it's cool because being able to see the cadets go through the APD program and man. Cops are needed. Officers are needed.
100%. And think about being an officer if you can, and then you're looking for.
And then if you want to apply, go to apdonline.com. Yes, man, I got a plug.
I got pulled over.
You got a Kenny Thomas code like that? You get a commission on it?
No, I got a.
Here's your code KT number 4.
I wish I got a little badge to get in the building, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
You got pulled over one time?
Yeah, I got pulled over.
Haven't we all?
Well, no, but this is the catch though. I get pulled over, and he comes up and he's like, "Yeah, you didn't slow down next to the traffic stop." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I was trying to change lanes, but there's a truck there, so I had to try to speed up, try to change lanes." Takes my license, goes back to his car. 10 minutes later, comes back. He's like, "All right, yeah, you're good." And he's like,
"You know Kenny Thomas?"
He's like, "No." He's like, "By the way, man, we're hiring." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, Illinois, we're hiring state police, state patrol officers right now." And I think you'd be a good candidate, so go ahead and apply. Use my name as a reference. I'm like, did I just go from getting pulled over to getting offered a
offered a job? And we're doing a $10,000 signing bonus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome. They're needed, man, especially in this climate right now with 100%. All the craziness going on. Especially with these teens out there, man. Cops are needed. So, hey, if you want to be one, go apply.
Kenny Thomas is in studio. We're kicking it with Kenny. He's recruiting for the badge, and he's also watching some more hoops. We got a champion, dude. I said yesterday, it's okay to walk away from something saying, wow, that was awesome, but that was gruesome. You asked me, I remember when I was on my trip, I went and we had a very old college buddy. How was that trip? And I said, it was horrible, but it was wonderful because I saw my old friends.
Condolences, bro.
No, thank you. But watching the game the other night, it was wonderful, but it was horrible, right? It was wonderful seeing a young team who earned it all year that feels, as their coach says, uncommon, win a championship. But it was horrible watching a guy who I find very likable in Tyrese Halliburton, who, and I will say this, even knowing the result, I think he did the right thing by playing, even though I know he's going to miss next year. Watching him go down was horrible. It was wonderful, but it was horrible.
Yeah, it was like, you see how the best just came out of me? That's really how it felt. Like, you never wish anything bad on anybody, especially when a guy that's gotten his team to the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years. And it's one of those things that happens especially when you have a calf injury, and it can have a tendency to spread or to where you're compensating in other areas to where something like this happened. It's unfortunate. The thing that really irks me, there's been 3 guys that went down and they all have 0.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what I mean?
We were talking about this.
Number 0.
The amount, so he looked it up, there were 6 Achilles injuries this year. The average has been like 1 a year. 10 years ago, there were 5. But it seems more because it's Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton. Now, dudes go down, and if there's the 7th, guy, buried 11th guy on the bench for the Raptors, you may not know about it. But I don't know why. I don't know if you have a theory. Is it they're playing more, they're playing younger, the playoffs are. I don't know why, and everybody's going to latch onto an excuse, and I don't know that you can fix it. But it blows my mind because body maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Training, right?
Yeah.
Stretching, nutrition, everything is better now.
Yeah.
And it feels like, and maybe the stats don't bear this out, but it seems like they do, that there's more of these injuries.
Yeah, I mean, all three of those components you said are factors. I had to go through those. And then you got to keep in mind, man, these guys are grinding for 82 games in a season, and they're trying to play every single game. Now that the rules come in to where you got to play like 56 or
50 to qualify for.
Yeah, right. I really like that because nowadays guys are taking times off, and you got to go work, especially with the type of money that they're making, right? Yeah. But when you see three big stars that are going to have opportunities to where they can't play, I mean, it's not opportunities. It's going to screw up their opportunities to play this coming year because these three guys, I know Damian Lillard is a little older, but these three guys can impact the game, and I feel like the NBA needs that right now, especially with the ratings going down right now, how they are. Yeah. But Tyrese Halliburton, he's young, and being able to bounce back and still have that youth, you never know, man. With all the stuff and the tools that they have now, I doubt he would come back, but you never know. He might come back.
Kenny, in your era, was there a big Achilles injury?
Kobe.
So, yes, I feel like he was kind of he wasn't the first one, but that was the first big one, wasn't it?
Well, not the first big one, but it was it was big.
Yeah, it was huge, but you guys got to keep in mind, this man
he's playing a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to knock these three guys that just got hurt. That's not what I'm doing. Kobe's a totally different breed. Remember when he popped he got up and still went to the free throw line and made the free throws and walked off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it wasn't Game 7 of the finals either.
Yeah, I totally get that. But
and so the emotion that plays into that has to. I think you got to cut him a little slack.
Who?
Tyrese, with the emotion of being.
I never said I wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's why I said in the beginning because of people like you just said what you said.
No. I just want to make it clear out there. Not you have to cut him some slack. People,
okay.
You're the general you.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure because this is where I said it like 2 or 3 times before I said it. I'm not knocking those guys.
Yeah.
Because I've never popped an Achilles,
like
and I've never popped an Achilles. I don't know.
Like why wasn't it happening in 2003, 2004?
It was. These types of things just happen.
Would you have played? No, knowing
what do you mean?
If you were Tyrese Halliburton and you had a calf strain and everybody was telling you about Kevin Durant and what happened in 19 and it was real and it was the same exact thing, and even now knowing what happened, and it was always a risk. I think he did the right thing. I have no qualms with him playing.
Of course. He's supposed to, if he can.
I think moving forward, look, they got to look at these calf injuries. I think that's the one thing that you can't. That's one thing you can pinpoint.
Think about football, Zay.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Think about football, man. Injuries come. In football, injuries are more devastating, and I'm saying football because I'm trying to relate.
Because it's a collision sport.
But injuries just happen. Guys can pivot wrong in the turf, and then they rip up their knees, right?
All the time.
Yeah. Things just happen because. You got to keep in mind, when you have an injury, wherever it is, you're going to put your weight or most of your overcompensate for the other side, and then that's lacking the side that's actually injured. And then there's other sides like his calf. There's so many different things that could have happened to where he could have sprained an ankle. Unfortunately, he popped his Achilles, but his calf could have popped. I tore my calf muscle before my rookie year to where I couldn't go to the combines, and I think that probably hurt me a little bit, but I still went 22. I did not work out because I tore my calf muscle when I was training in one of the – no, man, I couldn't.
I mean, you didn't have any tape.
I couldn't. I could not go.
But you had tape.
What do you mean?
Your video.
My calf.
But you
had
you mean
video. I thought you meant
people saw you on video that tape. Like they knew your game.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. It's an unfortunate situation, and things just kind of happen. And he's so young. He's still got a bright future ahead of him.
You know, trainers, like one of the main things they'll decide when they decide to let you go or not. It's like, okay, is this something where you're playing through pain, or can this get worse?
What's the difference
Both.
between an injury and being hurt?
Yeah,
Right?
now
I think you're paying through both. Like,
I mean, well, in Game 7 of the finals, hell yes, you're
yeah,
paying
oh yeah.
Imagine the scrutiny if he didn't.
But I think he was
You know
already
what I
getting
mean?
he was already getting scrutinized for playing and not playing
So,
well.
like, are people off him now? Like that Skip Bayless quote that we talked about. Did you see Skip Bayless'
No.
quote? What a clown.
I'm not a fan.
No, nobody is, dude. And
I'm
that
not
guy's
a
made zillions, and I don't know anybody who likes him, but Zay swears to me it was 3 minutes before. I looked at the timestamp. It looked like it was, but he basically said Halliburton, he's the guy who gets hurt. And
He said that before the game?
No, like right before the injury, he says, and he leans, I'm paraphrasing, leans on getting hurt and uses it as an excuse. And then the dude popped his Achilles 80,000 times on TV.
Wow.
How many times
Yeah.
have we watched that?
Wow.
They kept replaying it.
Yeah, they said it popped, like you can see it like out of
totally
the
see
sock.
it.
I
That
just think
second, you can see that.
moving forward, right? You don't just pull somebody up for a calf strain, but I think whenever there's a calf issue, you got to start being like,
So
okay,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, Zay? He got to play. It was after
of
game
course.
6, so
So
what is he
put
supposed to
more
do?
preparation, right? Like just like
He
you
had-
said, stretching. Like you do
Come
stretches,
on.
you do stretches
So
and
you think
warm ups.
you don't think you don't think he had the best
Let me tell
possible
you guys something.
warm up? He had every trainer on him 24/7. Like, what are you going to do? It's either you as the coach and or trainer are going to say you cannot play.
Let me tell you.
Or
guys
what
something.
else are you going to do?
He said, "Let me tell you
Let
guys."
me tell you guys something. When I saw stars get hurt, or when I got hurt,
You were a star.
no, thank you, I love you, but no. When I saw stars got hurt, and when I got hurt, bro, you guys got to understand. There's treatment around the
That's
clock.
what I'm saying. I mean, so you
around
want him
the
to stretch
clock.
more?
All of that was happening.
Of course it was.
And then they're trying to break it up because it's turning into tightness and it's becoming like real tight tissue. And then you gotta like scrape it and break it up, and then you gotta ice heat. This is around the clock
And then
treatment.
The hip
And he
bone's
had
connected to the tailbone.
and he had 2 days in between. Imagine if he just had 1 day in between.
Yeah, we got a break. Kenny Thomas is here. Talk a little bit more about Oklahoma City. It's crazy that, I mean, what are you going to remember? You're going to remember the championship or the injury. Want to get into where they go now? The trade, Drew Holiday, what the Celtics are doing. We got
Stupid.
We got by who?
Celtics.
We'll get into that. We got the draft starts tomorrow. I mean, we just ended the season. Kenny Thomas is here. He is the co-star of Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on Saturday mornings. We're kicking it with Kenny on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Happy birthday, America! It's time to grill, chill, and celebrate our free.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard.
Kicking it with Kenny here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal. Former Lobo great Kenny Thomas is in the studio, spent 11 years in the NBA. Isaiah's in for JJ today. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. You laughed a little bit when I led into the break on the Drew Holiday trade. So the Celtics traded Drew Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers. The Celtics, with Jason Tatum out next year with the Achilles, saved $40 million in tax. Anthony Simmons, who's on an expiring contract, goes back to Boston. You hate it for Boston?
Yes. And Jason Tatum's out for the year. I don't see why you do that.
Are they waving the white flag?
Obviously they're clearing cap space, right, to give them opportunities to be able to sign some of the guys back that they have. But it is the Celtics, right, to where they might be trying to go out and get a guy that they can get for like 20, 30 million too as well.
So you think they're trying to restock? See, basically they save $40 million in tax. It's not that they saved room under the. So they're above. They were coming up on the next tax apron.
Oh, got you.
So I don't understand what Portland's doing, to be honest with you. I mean, they get a veteran guy who they had, and I love Drew Holiday. Don't get me wrong, but what makes them think that they're close to doing something?
Well, Drew Holiday he's a guy that can come and impact. Obviously, Portland right now they need a little bit of everything.
They weren't that bad. They were 36 and 46. I thought they were worse.
Well, the fact that they brought Chauncey Billups back, I think, was the smartest thing ever.
100%.
Because it was one of those things they didn't know if he was going to come back. And I feel like he's a very, very knowledgeable type of player, and he's transitioned over to the coach side. And the fact that he's won championships in Detroit.
So they got Jeremy Grant there, who I like.
I like him.
Drew Holiday's on that team now with DeAndre Ayton. I mean,
now Drew Holiday is going to have to run the point.
Of course he is. Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. I want to get into Oklahoma City a bit. People wanted to talk Dynasty last week, and I wasn't going to do that before. Yeah. They win. Let's just start with Shea. Winning a championship, winning Western Conference MVP, scoring title, MVP, and Finals MVP.
Yeah,
that does what for him? He is, I mean, put him in a cat. There's that top shelf, right? There's LeBron, Steph, Kobe, Mike, whatever. Then there's that next shelf of stars, right? I've got him on that same shelf with a guy like Jokic, with a guy like Tatum.
That's fair.
He's that next level now, isn't he?
I actually agree with you.
Like you're agree with me.
Yeah, I actually agree with you from the perspective of when he's able to come out and impact the game and be the scoring leader for the whole league, 32.7 points a game. But you know what I heard the other day when I heard Jalen Williams doing an interview on ESPN?
That he had never had a drink in his life?
Yeah, that interview.
That was crazy.
Right? And then he said he's going to go back to his Shirley Temples, right? But what he really said is that that SGA has figured out how to become a leader, how to motivate, how to give credit to his other teammates where credit is due. That right there is, you can't teach that. That is desire. That is not putting yourself first, even though yourself is first, but that's acknowledging your supporting cast.
There's a maturity
huge.
that seems to come with that young man.
Yeah,
Right? There's
and-
a
and-
leadership, a maturity, a lack of, I don't know, a lack of boastfulness, if that makes sense, which
Yeah,
is very
I know what
prevalent
that word
in
means.
American sports. So the look at me.
Yeah. And he's so humble.
Well, and that's where it goes to when Mark Dagnall, the coach, says this is an uncommon team. It's an uncommon town, first of all, right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how many free agents who just want to go live the young party lifestyle are running to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But yet they've got a team of incredibly talented young stars who seem like they want to be there. They almost seem like they fit the town, and
Yeah, they
that
do.
leader
Yeah.
feels like he fits that market.
Oh, you said that perfectly, because I feel the players, and if you've been to OKC, you would know that the players, or the 7 to 8 guys that are playing, that they're the type of players that belong in OKC, because it's a very well tight niche community.
It's small.
When Sam Perkins, not Sam
Presti.
Perkins.
Sam Presti.
Big Perk. Big Perk.
Yeah, on ESPN.
Yeah, Big Perk said, as far as the culture in OKC, because KD and James Harden and Russell Westbrook started that culture there, and now they're able to bring a title there. Nobody thought OKC, come on, man, would be one of those
They're no
teams.
bigger than this town.
Yeah, you got a point. But it's the dynamic of that coach looks like he's so chill, and he's not pressing anything because he's allowing them to be able to be them.
But there's got to be a maturity amongst the players.
Oh,
to be
without
able to
a
coach
doubt.
that way, correct?
Oh yeah, because the player has to buy in. The players are the ones that's making the coach who he is. You see what I'm saying? But when you have an SGA that walked over and tapped Tyrese Halliburton on the back to make sure he was good and like acknowledged the fact, yo, bro, he said whatever he said. That's huge, man. Guys don't do that.
You don't think that would have happened amongst other stars?
Guys don't do that.
They don't.
And back in my day, guys weren't doing that like that, man.
And you're good with
It was
though?
more of a brute. Yeah, I'm great with it. I mean, that's showing that he has a heart, but at the same time, he's a 6'6" dude. That's a beast, especially in the mid-range game.
All right, so dude's going to get paid, and he should get paid.
Which
and he's-
dude?
Shea.
Oh,
and he's
man,
going to get
yes.
Supermax and all those things. Can they keep that together in today's NBA, where guys are moving, and we'll get into the Kevin Durant trade here in a second. Can they keep it together? I think Houston's coming. I look at Houston's roster. I look at Minnesota's roster. I still think Golden State may have another run in them. I don't know what the Lakers are going to add.
Yep.
In the West is, here comes San Antonio.
Yep.
Can they're going to pay him at some point? They're going to have to pay Chet Holmgren. Jalen Williams getting paid. I mean, look, you can love the city, you can love your brothers all you want, but you also love getting paid.
Oh yeah.
How long can you keep that together?
Well, obviously, you just identified the top 3.
I thought Caruso was a big piece of what they did.
He has to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going anywhere. Caruso's not going anywhere. Unless it's just an unbelievable offer, you know what I mean?
But
To
he's
where,
not
hey,
getting
that
He's not
OKC
guy.
can't give
Yeah,
up.
well, he's got to fit in a place like he did with
Yeah.
the Lakers, like he did here.
Yeah, don't be shocked if Caruso's one of those guys that just goes to different teams and wins
Well,
a
he-
ring multiple times.
He tried it with the
Like,
Bulls, it didn't work, but he did it here.
He might go to another team, win
he
another
needs to
one.
stay right where he is. But you guys got to keep in mind, Chet, man, he needs to do better.
He was
He
terrific
needs to.
defensively.
He needs to get better. This is a guy that they're expecting to score and be their big. I don't care if it's on the perimeter. I don't care if it's inside. He needs to do
How
better.
good was he
period.
defensively?
Come on, man.
Terrific.
He's 7 feet, man.
Okay,
He's
fine.
supposed to block shots like
And
that.
so he did it.
I'm talking about the offensive side. He's not complimenting SGA
There's big
and
dudes.
Jalen Williams like he should.
Sean Bradley was bigger than him. Did Sean Bradley play defense?
Man, Sean Bradley. But see, you're talking about defense.
Yes.
Chet needs to play both sides.
Matter?
Yeah, he needs to play both sides
I
of the floor.
agree with you on the offense.
Yeah, okay. So when I'm trying to say he needs to identify himself on the offensive side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He needs to be more consistent.
Oh, consistent is not the word, especially when you're getting opportunities.
What is the word? Just better?
It's not even better. Do better, be better, whatever it is, because
effective.
Is
that the word you're looking for?
He was effective, but he wasn't effective on the offensive side. On the offensive side, even a third.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he always has the ball in his hands, and he just needs to do more.
All right, lastly, Kevin Durant's a rocket.
Yes, he is. Welcome to the
How do you feel about that?
They give up Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick tomorrow,
Bye.
and 5 seconds, which, okay,
Bye.
Desmond Bain drew, 4 or 5 firsts? Mikal Bridges was worth 4 or 5 firsts. Rudy Gobert was a haul of firsts. And Phoenix, the best they can get is they're going to flip Dylan Brooks. They may flip Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm.
They get tomorrow's 10th and 5. What the hell are you doing with 5 seconds? I just feel like Phoenix had to do better. I don't get it. And I think now Houston, they trade Jalen Green's good, whatever with Dylan Brooks. Okay, he's a pest. He's defensive, fine. But they got a closer now. They got a guy who can score, who can create his own shot. What did Houston not have in the playoffs? When you watch them in the playoffs against Golden State, they could not score from the outside.
They could
now
not
they
score.
Can. Now
they could not
now
score.
They can.
And Jalen Green, I'm a fan, but I don't see him being that dynamic perimeter dude.
And even if he was, dude, you got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you got Kevin Durant at 37. That's a sniper, nicknamed Sniper. He comes in the middle. Come on, ain't nobody blocking his mid-range shot. KD gets to what shot he wants to get when he wants and how quick and whatnot. Right? I'm a fan of KD because he's not done.
I agree.
And then there's a lot left in the tank. And you guys are about to be amazed right now how he's going to come in and impact.
Especially
right
the
now.
cast that he's going to, right? He doesn't have to do it all. He might be the leader, he might not. But the cast that he is now a part of with these young players, with Amen Thompson and
Van
Jabari
Vliet.
and Van Vliet, I think they need to reside Van Vliet. I think that's the key.
They're not,
one
he's
of the
not
keys.
going anywhere.
But I look at them now and I'm like, are they your favorite in the West?
I don't know about that, but I could have him in the top 4.
I would have them in the top 2. I think it's them in Oklahoma City. Who else we got? Right now, as of today, they're better than the Lakers. They're better than the Warriors. They're better than Minnesota. They're better than Denver.
Don't sleep on Dallas, especially with Cooper Kupp.
That's fair. That's
you
fair.
know what I'm saying?
Cooper Flag?
Yeah, I said Cooper Kupp. I'm already on football.
Yeah, that's right.
Cooper Flag.
No, that's good, but they don't have
then
Kyrie
the Spurs,
this year.
The Spurs.
Kyrie's out this year. Let's see what the Spurs do.
Spurs
didn't make the
are
damn
gonna be
playoffs.
nice.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Watch this.
I get it. No, they're
De'Aaron
coming.
Fox.
Okay, but you
Wemby.
think they're a top 2 or 3?
I'm taking Houston.
I think they're in the top 5. I feel like the West is going to be a nice little mixture, depending on how the Lakers come back and how Luka comes.
Well, when they get Bam Adebayo and Lucas lost 30 pounds. I mean,
Very well
Lakers
said.
are first.
Wait.
Whoa. Calm down, Zay. Lakers first.
Lakers are getting Bam Adebayo?
Of course they're going to get
What do
Bam
you mean?
Adebayo.
They haven't
They're
gotten
getting
him
everybody.
yet.
Are they just traded Bronny for him or what?
Very well said,
Bronny in
Jeff.
5 seconds?
No, Reeves will be gone for Bam Adebayo.
What?
That's my prediction. You heard
Bam
it.
ain't leaving Miami.
It might not be his choice.
You
He'll
out
be
of
happy
your
when
mind.
he'll be Miami to LA, tomato, or no?
No.
What are you talking about?
Dang.
I haven't been to both. You guys have been to both. I haven't been to either.
Man, you sipping on something in there at 9:30 in
I
the
bet.
morning?
When he comes in the morning, man, he's drinking different stuff in his coffee cup than JJ does. I'll tell you that right now. All right, you in on Friday? You coming Friday?
Yeah, no. I got to talk to you because I'm in a golf tournament with Councilman Dan Champagne
All right.
and shotguns at 8.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
come in at like 6:30 or whatever you want me
I
to
ain't
do,
gonna be here
bro.
at 6:30.
What time you start?
7.
Okay.
I ain't doing that.
I could call in.
Yeah, you can call in if you want.
Yeah.
Call in if you want. Then hit a ball, and then, I'll talk to Dave.
No, I'll call in.
You want to talk to Walgreens?
No. Oh, Jeff getting prescriptions done.
I mean, easy.
Hey, that's why they're calling you.
Yeah, your prescription is ready. Yeah. I mean, or either that or it was denied.
Whoa. Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Your insurance is like my NBA insurance.
Is it?
Unbelievable.
All right, he's the star of, the co-star of Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. You listen to it every Saturday. He might be with us on Friday from the golf course. He's like me, man. I'll call his show from the golf course.
Okay.
Yeah, all about reciprocation.
Hey, and then this weekend, DC's doing my show. and
Instead
we're
of you?
gonna do StreamYard
Instead of you, or
while
instead
I'm
of
on the
Zach?
golf course.
Who are we talking?
I'm gonna be on the golf course
On Saturday?
On Saturday too.
During your
I'm
show?
golfing Friday, and I'm golfing Saturday.
Oh yeah, you got the big New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only I would have got asked. Dude. I'm kidding.
I was about to say what, but you're still hosting. You're emceeing on Sunday.
I am doing
I don't know if I'm doing the dinner.
Yeah.
That thing is like 4 or 5 hours, man.
There's 23 pages of script. That's without all the speeches, man. There's 23 pages of script.
And then you get
it ain't short.
Where's it at? The convention center?
Yeah.
And then you get some jerky chicken.
No, it's good, man. Their food's
No.
really good. No, actually, yeah, and I had my choice: chicken, salmon, or veggie.
I'm just kidding. Albuquerque Convention Center.
Ray Rowe on that staff do a great job.
Yeah. I like Ray.
Yeah, go
Ray's
back to
cool.
Will they look at you crazy if you eat dinner and then leave, or what? Can you?
No,
You can stay the whole 4 hours.
Well, my
I'm
boy.
joking.
What do you mean 4 hours? Man, the MC's gonna get that done in 2.
Come on, hey.
Last year I got that thing done quick. See, I don't go off and I don't feel like I got to be a comedian. It ain't about me. It's about getting this thing done.
Hey, you guys know when we're coming to the end of the segment, right? To where the music starts coming in. That's what you guys need to tell them, Jeff, this Sunday. Start playing the music
Like
and
they do
start
with the
playing it
Academy
louder.
Awards.
Just start playing it louder to where you can't hear them. They'll get the idea.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go.
Man, I think my speech was like 2 minutes when I got inducted.
All right, I want to hear it on Friday. It's the opening drive. He's Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal is sending you on another trip on a tank full.
Oh my God!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
And our foursome. He must have stopped 4 times the rules guy. Will you move your shadow? Will you? The guy was like 15 feet away. It's somewhat in his view. Will you please stop moving? The guy was one time on number 12. I remember this, tapping his finger. There was, I had music playing in the car because I was, and dude was like literally tapping his finger like this. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Like on his
yeah.
Like on his hand.
Yeah.
Like just tapping the music. Guy backed off. Can you please stop tapping?
Would he laugh afterwards? It's like a cold stare, and you're like, I'm serious.
Dude was serious as serious. Yeah. And the dude who kept talking to was like, who is this? Yep.
Was it worth it? Was it worth the swing? Like, was he good? And it's like, oh, maybe it's because
I
we
beat
were
him. I beat him 5-4. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's why he wanted
Came
to
down.
quiet.
He came down last putt on the last hole, but I beat him 5-4.
I bet you were like, yeah, tap that.
I mean, he wasn't.
He was cool.
He wasn't talking to me about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I won a hole where I had to go back and re-hit because I had a lost ball. But anyway.
He sounds like someone that would have been like a sore loser about it.
He wasn't happy.
Okay.
He wasn't happy.
Yes,
All right, I got an email. So this going back right before Kenny was in, right before 9 o'clock. I was talking about Jason Eck and recruiting and Lobo football, and I said, I kind of know where this is going to go, but I understand it, and Lobo fans going to be, yeah, whatever. I've seen this before, and why should I care about Lobo football? And I get it, and I said, I hope you'll give this guy a chance because I think it's important for Lobo football, for the entirety of the athletic program to be good, and I think Eck's doing it the right way. James said this is Danny Gonzalez. He calls him Danny Gonzalez. He says, Jeff, why is it different this time? All I heard was Danny Gonzalez was out in the community. Danny Gonzalez was in schools. When was the last time you saw Bob Davey at New Mexico high school game? My answer is, James, I don't know that it is different or not. I don't know. I don't. Why is it different? I don't know.
You were a chance.
I don't know.
A chance is not locking anything down. Just give somebody a chance.
I just know that at some point, well, I guess I don't know that.
Yeah, what are you?
No, I don't know. I mean,
it's like, how are you going to go through? You got to go through the same mentality you go through life with, right? You got to apply things like that. And if that's your outlook, then, try to find a different one, right? Try to find a different
Unless that makes you happy. I mean, look, he's not wrong. And I know that many Lobo fan feels the same way James does. Why is it different? Dude, I've been through this. Loxley was that guy. He was, and Gonzalez, as he calls him, was. And Davey, and I get it, man. I get it. Lobo football has not been good, and I've probably sat here for a lot of years, and I say this with optimism because I think it's more fun when football is good. I watch what football does to communities all over America. I know how good it can be for communities, how much joy it brings, and I feel like we're missing out on it. And I would like to see Lobo football be successful. It's not my alma mater. I don't necessarily have a vested interest other than, I run a bowl game in this town, and it's better for my business when football is good. So from that perspective, I'd love to see football good. I'd love to see college football be important here. But from a bigger picture, for the entirety of that athletic department. Football has to get better for the betterment of the entire athletic department. And you're like, well, hold on, real quick. And I didn't mean to cut you off. But they won basketball. See, they won, and they won cross country. Oh, that's cool, man. And they had a great year. And they also got left behind in realignment because football wasn't good. And that's all I'm saying. So James, why is it different this time? I don't know. I don't know that it will be. But I hope people give them a chance. That's all.
Yeah, and one thing that's important to realize is that like you said, looking at the big picture, and football is better for if it's better for business and things like that. But also, football is a sport where you can make football fun even if the team's not winning a bunch of games. You can still make the atmosphere of the stadium fun. You can still make it a fun experience to go to the football games, even if they're not winning all of them.
I mean, you can do that with, I think Ice Subs have done a great job.
And I was
going
to use them as an example.
They don't win, but it's fun to go out to the ballpark. And United's done a nice job with an atmosphere. Yes, all that's true. I mean, but I would almost argue that football is one of those where you have to win more than the other ones because it's less about the atmosphere. Yeah, you can make it fun, but bottom line is when people care, then because it can be cold, it can be miserable, right? You don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'm telling people it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too Saturday, it's too early, it's whatever, man. There's more excuses. I'm not telling you what to do. I just hope people give it a chance. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
All right, we'll wrap you up when we get back. 505-246-06 and everything you got to know as you go through your day. Hey, if you're out late in the evenings, Twin Peaks is your spot. Late nights is hot at Twin Peaks because from 10 o'clock till close, Sunday through Thursday, Twin Peaks offers hand-stretched flatbreads. They're just $8. They're baked fresh. They're loaded with flavor. They're perfect for those late-night yummies. Pair it with something from their rare bourbon collection. They got hard-to-find bourbons, barrel selects, hand-picked by their team, top-shelf tequilas, or sipping slow or 29-degree draft beers. So whether you're winding down the night or just getting started, really, there's no better place than Twin Peaks. You can kick back, stay late, and you will taste the difference. As far as lunches, you're always saying, where are we going to go for lunch? Where should we go? Twin Peaks. Lunch, happy hour, they got you covered. Savory soups, crisp salads, hearty sandwiches. It all starts at $7.99. For happy hour, handcrafted cocktails, top-shelf spirits, the coldest 29-degree draft beers in the game. So whether you're on break or off the clock, there's always something cooking at Twin Peaks. It's great food, great drinks, and even better views, and it's only at Twin Peaks.
This is Bart Winkler with the Sportsman.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it. You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my...
Interview. Oh boy, they're going with the big names now. I mean, they got rid of Tom Thibodeau, took their swing at Ime Udoka, and they took their swing at Jason Kidd, and they took their swing at Chris Finch. Nope and nope and nope. So now Micah Nori is interviewing for the vacancies. One of 3 candidates for the New York Knicks. What?
You know, one of the main things I always hear, and this is from like people that usually have been successful, and they're like, you know, some people are scared of success. Like, you got some people that they start noticing success and it makes them feel weird and nervous, and they almost like push it away without noticing it. And I feel like that's what the Knicks front office could be doing here. Like, you guys finally got over that hump, and then you just, maybe they thought that because they made the conference finals that everyone was just going to flock to them and they were going to get any coach they wanted, and any move they made at that point, they could do no wrong because they've got Jalen Brunson. But now they find themselves in a position where they got denied on a bunch of requests for to interview for coaches. They, haven't gotten any success with the ones they've interviewed. Now it's going to end up being somebody who might feel like, you got to keep in mind, this is a New York Knicks coaching job. Like, whoever it is needs to be able to handle the heat of what could happen if things don't go right. I mean, they just made the conference finals. They've got more expectation than they've had in years.
Yep, all that's true. There's a report that they may interview Albuquerque's James Borrego, who is
Really?
the former head coach of the Knicks. Yeah, the Athletics' James Edwards said they are tossing around the idea of James Borrego, who I think would I'd love to see James get another shot. Former, the Albuquerque Academy grad and former head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Nori has been an NBA assistant since 2009.
Okay. Did they show what teams or no?
Yeah.
Like
Toronto,
Mhm.
Sacramento, Denver, Detroit, now in Minnesota. Detroit means Detroit. That's
Okay.
Yeah. They interviewed Taylor Jenkins and they interviewed Mike Brown. Mike Brown, who spends a lot of time in Albuquerque, has a home here as well.
Really?
Yeah, the father of former Lobo Elijah Brown, the former head coach of the Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I did not know Mike Brown is.
He spends a number. I mean, he's not from here, but he spends time here. Yeah, I know.
He could handle the heat. He knows what it's like to be at the
He
spotlight.
coached LeBron
and Kobe.
Yeah, and Kobe. So
after Phil Jackson. So.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Like I guess kind of thing.
And look, I'm not telling you that this can't be really good. Micah Nori may be the next great. I have no idea. He's on Chris Finch's bench in Minnesota. It's just not the New York kind of a hire that they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. They figured they are New York, and they are finally starting to become it, and everybody's going to want to become it with them. And what they're realizing is, not so much.
Yeah, like.
And by the way, maybe Ime Udoka or Jason Kidd or Chris Finch wanted to, and they're under contract, and their ownership said, "Yeah, no, we're not letting you go."
Yeah.
That could also be the case.
Because a good New York Knicks team, like if you think about the upside, especially given that they just made the conference finals, let alone the fact that they are the New York Knicks, I don't know, other than maybe getting LeBron or Steph or KD into the ring, I don't know what accomplishment a coach could do in the NBA right now that could be a bigger deal than getting the Knicks to the finals. In just getting there and losing. Because, yeah.
Define big, just because it's New York?
Because it's the Knicks, and it's been a long time, and even it goes way back to the Spike Lee days. I mean, just the build-up for so long. They finally get to the finals. Only reason I say LeBron, KD, or Steph getting another one is because those are three guys who, when they won their last one, we didn't know for sure that it would be their last. Maybe with Steph. But, or KD, I guess, with the Warriors. There's no idea. But I just feel like those are the only other three accomplishments. I mean, it's coaching those guys and getting them another ring because that goes straight into their legacy. But other than that, I don't know.
All right, we'll watch that. The Herd of Con Cowards next. The Jim Roma Show. We'll follow that. 2 Men On steps in at 4. Isotopes in Las Vegas tonight after that. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian, I'm staring at it. It looks good. I love the graphic that you guys put up there. Great work on the visual side. Isaiah's in for JJ this week. Thanks for getting up early and playing radio with me and stepping in. Great work today.
Of course. Thank you. You as well.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a